So welcome to another reading. Today we're back on the schedule reading from the daily guides from the Science of Mind magazine. However, I ask everybody to please continue to keep all those affected by the flood in Central Texas in your thoughts and your prayers in whatever way, shape, or form that you do that, because those people need all the support they can get, physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual, I would say. You are. Today's reading is entitled Getting to Know Me. Not me in the sense of David here. You'll see. The first quote is from someone who was quite famous in the 20th century, Joseph Campbell. If you don't know about him, look him up. Joseph Campbell, Campbell, who says, "The privilege of a lifetime is being who you are." And that should kind of give you a clue as to what's coming. And Ernest Holmes in the Science of Mind textbook on page 203 says, "Your only responsibility is to uncover the truth. Your only responsibility is to uncover the truth." What does he mean by that? Rev Ron Fox says, as Ernest Holmes reminds us, there is no reason we should stop accepting more and more good. Life is limitless. When we stop growing mentally, we stop allowing more good into our lives. Excuse me. Our lives are great gifts that we get to shape and mold into what we wish them to become. However, nothing happens by accident. So we need to do our work, especially our spiritual work. Take a moment to think about what you want to create in your life. What brings you joy? What excites you? When is the last time you felt like time was standing still? What would you do if you knew you couldn't fail? He then says, meditate on these words from Melody Beattie. What if you knew for certain that everything that we're worried about will work out fine? If we knew the future was going to be good and we would have an abundance of resources and guidance in which to handle whatever comes our way? What if we knew everything was okay and we didn't have to worry about a thing? What will we do then? We'd be free to let go and enjoy life. In Tuesdays with Murray, Mitch Albom chronicles the last days of the life of his college professor, Murray Schwartz. Mitch asked Murray, what would you do if you had 24 healthy hours? And Murray responds, you exercise, have breakfast, go for a swim, have lunch with friends, go for a walk in the garden, see the color of the trees. He would love to do things that we can do every day. And he would do things that we can do every day. Don't put off what you love. Tomorrow isn't promised to us. So that's a good reminder to us that often we put things off. That's one thing. But secondly, oftentimes we do the opposite of what he's talking about here, which is we look for what can go wrong. We do. Human beings, we have a way of looking for what might go wrong. When, to use the quote, when is the shoe going to drop? In other words, when will this wonderful thing that's going on come to an end and everything will go crashing down? And what Rev Fox and others are saying here is, hey, put all that at one side. What would you like to do? What would you like to experience? How would you like to be? And when you find yourself slipping away from that again, remind yourself, hey, the good in my life is open to me when I wrap my thoughts and feelings around it, and I believe my good is going to come. So it all boils back down to, guess what? Belief. And how do we strengthen our belief? Well, we do our spiritual work. Whatever that means to you personally, prayer, meditation, quiet time, affirmations, mantras, whatever works for you. And some people find it just by being out in nature. In fact, I've just been reading in Reader's Digest. It's called How Nature Heals Us. And it's by medical professionals, or well, medical professionals have made comments in there. Some of them actually prescribe nature to their patients, and their patients start to thrive again because just being in nature is itself medicine. So there you are. So if you couldn't fail, what would you do? Can you look at the positive side of life instead of the negative side of life? And if you do find yourself looking at the negative side, are you able to say stop and start looking at the positive side again? So that is my offering for today. Once again, reminder, in whatever way you do it, please hold the people in Central Texas affected by these floods in your thoughts, in your prayers. Whatever way you do it, it's all good. My colleague, Reverend Lisa, will be back tomorrow at 9:15. I will be returning, hopefully at 5 o'clock. Hopefully at 5 o'clock. I have an afternoon mediation. The affirmations. In this moment, I take time to remember all the things I love to do, the simple joys of everyday life. In this moment, I take time to remember all the things I love to do, the simple joys of everyday life. I say a prayer of gratitude for all the wonders in God's amazing creation. I say a prayer of gratitude for all of the wonders in God's amazing creation, or however you like to express that. So these affirmations often are not so much mantras to repeat. They're sometimes statements to contemplate, to think about, to look at and think, what does that mean to me? And some of them indeed are intended to change the way our subconscious mind works and instill in there new and good stuff. So, until next time, namaste.